He's going to need the fans back in full support this season, is he not?
He's going to need the fan support. Any manager needs that as well, particularly at Goodison, because those fans there can be one or the other. You would experience that far more than me. But as an away opponent going there as a player and a manager, you know that if you can quieten the crowd, they'll turn a little bit against, and the fear and the anxiety turns against the Everton team. Whereas if they get going, and that's where I thought they were a bit lacklustre today. I expected them, OK, try and defend deep and do all the things that they've done when they've beaten Chelsea before. That went a little bit pear-shaped with the penalty, but it was then the last 15 minutes of the game. I'm expecting the crowd up. I'm expecting Everton to throw caution to the wind. As I said at half-time, you guys defend the 1v1s. We're going to have to try and go for it. There wasn't. It was very, very lacklustre. The crowd were very calm. It wasn't like passion. A couple of long throws at the end. That was really it. That wasn't the Goodison that I know when I've ever gone there as a manager or a player. So that's where I think Frank needs that sort of help, but he needs help, more importantly, in the transfer market. They've got to get some players in.
Well, let's head straight back to the ground now and hear from the Chelsea boss, Thomas Tuchel.
Well, Thomas, this has not been a kind ground to Chelsea in the last few seasons. How satisfied are you to have come through that?
Yeah, it's like you said, we struggled last seasons to get points here. We have the points. Well, a win is a win. It's the most important for everything. Also to get better, because we have to get better.
OK, so I was going to say, that you say a win's a win. Does that tell us the performance wasn't everything you hoped it would be?
No, but I could assume that that we maybe are not on a highest level. We have players in, but they came in late. Pre-season was kind of a bit of turbulent. The last week in training was very promising. In some situations through the first half was quite good. Then the second half I think we had simply not enough movement on the ball, and with less movement, more ball losses. And it was a bit of a strange second half without a rhythm for no team and interruptions, and in the end, like 10 minutes extra time, a bit strange. But we hang in, and we did what was necessary to keep a clean sheet, so there are positive things, and from there we go.
So in a way, is it a classic first game of the season, just a little bit rusty?
Yeah, for us, yes, and very classic that we win 1-0 with a penalty from Jorginho, also very classic. Like I said, we know we need to get better, but this first of all, a win helps the most to be open for improvement and for the atmosphere and the spirit, and this is where we go, and from where we build the next step.
New signings today. Sterling looked sharp first half. And
yes.
Koulibaly okay?
Koulibaly, and then we struggled with physicality because Kouli is still a bit late and came late and lacks a bit of training. Raheem was very strong, struggled also physically in the end, and very happy with the 20 minutes from Cucurella. Was very strong and very important for us.
Koulibaly came off. Was that just cramp?
Yeah, cramps and yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, you're linked with players in almost every area of the pitch. Well, you are linked with players in every area of the pitch. Yeah. You've talked about being a team in transition. Yeah. Are you looking to add? Yeah, defender, midfielder, striker?
Yeah, if we can add, we add. Maybe not necessarily midfielders as a first option, but we're open for everything, and I think we can use new energy and new legs and fresh input to bring us to a new level. If not, then we will push this team, but I think we could use some more input and some more quality. We're on it, but we will not tell you.
I thought you wouldn't. What does today tell you about what you might be able to achieve this season? I listened to your press comments on Friday, and you almost don't seem sure yourself.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself. That's why I don't want to put pressure on us, and I don't want to, and at the same time, I don't want to lower our expectations. But giving the performance today and the quality of the match today, we do what we should do, I think. Like, dig in, keep quiet, stay humble, analyze this game. There's a lot of things to improve, and we have a whole weekend. And the next week we'll have one headline. This is Tottenham.
Well done.
Good, thanks. Bye.
Hello and welcome back to Matchday Live, where Chelsea have a 1-0 lead at half-time. Glenn, what were your thoughts on the opening half?
Well, a little bit stayed. I think Everton would have been, up until the penalty they give away, Everton would have been the happier team. Chelsea don't quite look at it yet. They don't look as if...
What's missing?
Well, I don't know. I think I look at Chelsea at the moment, and last season they knew their roles. Everyone knew that there was clarity in the way they played. I think they've been quite reserved in their wing-back positions. They've almost, they've said, well, Everton are playing the same system as us. We're just content to just keep the ball a little bit in front of you. And Everton, in some ways, have been OK about that. When Chelsea have actually got in behind Everton is the only time when they look really dangerous. No, Chelsea, for me, they've got a lot of work. I didn't understand Havertz being out on the left, Mount on the right. Normally Mount's better on the left if he's going to play wide, coming in on his right. And Sterling down the middle. I didn't think that was working that great. It was sort of playing into Everton's hands to a certain degree. But... they've got a little bit fortunate. It is a penalty in my view, but a little bit fortunate that Decore's made that rash decision to put him back.
Well, let's turn our attention to that. And Leon, talk us through the incident itself and sort of the build-up to it.
Well, as Glenn mentioned, when Chelsea have attacked in their normal positions, Everton have found it reasonably easy to deal with. But just on this one occasion, they just do something different. Chilwell attacks that first cross, stays in. There's a bit of build-up between Sterling and Koulibaly, and Chilwell just gets himself in the half-turn in a number 10 position. See him checking it, so that is a brilliant first touch. But suddenly, it just got in behind Everton's midfield just because Chelsea mixed it up a touch. But as you said, Glenn, it's definitely a penalty.
Yeah, look, Decore's got the wrong side. There's no reason for him to drag Chilwell back because there's defenders coming across. Mina there, you see him flying into the picture. So that's where, at that moment, in that real moment, you've just got to think twice. Is there going to be a goal scored? Is he going to get a shot off? No. I've got blue shirts coming across. It was
panic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was panic because he knew he didn't do his job well. He's got on the wrong side of him and he's tried to look. He's dragging him both hands as well. It's not like sometimes you're trying to doing it discreetly with one hand or away from the referee, but both hands. You put both hands on a player like that and he's going to go down.
But
and here we go.
That's the moment. I mean, it's brilliantly dispatched penalty kick. We were talking Jorginho versus Pickford in the Euros. Yeah, Pickford won that battle. It's Jorginho on this occasion.
He removed the hop and the skip, though, because he did that at the Euros final, didn't he?
Yeah. He did, and I've seen him in the Champions League since he's missed a couple with the little skip. He surprised me. The skip wasn't there, and I was interested to see whether he was going to the little skip, and he's gone, well, no, I'm not doing that anymore.
I think Jordan Pickford may have been waiting for it.
Yes, and that's clever then.
It's clever, and it's also clever. The next penalty they get, it might not be in this game. Now goalies are going to say, now, is he going to skip or is he going to not? And that's confused them even more. It's added to the confusion for a goalie. There, it's all in one sequence. He's gone in, and my word, bottom corner as well. It was fantastic.
So what are you hoping to see from Everton in the second half now?
Obviously, to raise the tempo. I think Everton need to make more runs in behind. They've defended ever so deep in that first half. I mean, they've had success against Chelsea in previous seasons, defending deep, getting to half-time, staying in the game and really coming out in the second half, attacking the Gladys Street end. So, yes, they've conceded a goal right on half-time, but I'm sure that'll still be the game plan. Put Chelsea on the back foot, try and press them. It's more difficult when you've got to go in search of the goal, now that Chelsea have obviously got that opening goal, but got to try and get that crowd involved. Yeah,
in some ways, obviously, you don't want to go 1-0 down, particularly just before half-time, but it might do Everton a favour in a sense. If they're going to turn this game around, I think they've got to put the chains off now a little bit, get that crowd going and go on the front foot. I think Frank at 0-0 might be going in there at half-time. Well, we've done a job up until half-time. Let's maintain that for 20 minutes. If Chelsea score then they've only got 20 minutes or so to get back in the game. They know what they've got to do now. And I think they'll attack more, they'll throw bodies a little bit more forward and just hope that the back three have got to defend 1v1s. They've been protected most of the game at that Everton back three. But now these guys say, you got to do your jobs, boys, because we're going to get that equaliser, maybe go on and win the game. If Everton go back to 1-1, imagine they go back 1-1, that crowd's going to be it's going to be a tough finish for Chelsea. But that's the key to it.
And Chelsea know exactly how that feels because, remember, they don't have a great record at Goodison Park, do they, especially in the Premier League? Well, look.
Hello and welcome to another Footballista video, and in this video we're going to take a look at one of the signings of this season, and that is Raheem Sterling. Chelsea signed Raheem Sterling from Manchester City for around 50 million euros, and they needed a player like Raheem Sterling in their squad because he is a good Premier League proven player. He can score goals too and provide assists, which they were lacking last season. They needed some goal scorers. They have Timo Werner and Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, who are okay players but don't really score that many goals. Raheem Sterling made 30 appearances for City last season and scored 13 goals and 5 assists. So he will be good for them, considering they also lost or rather let go of Lukaku, who was a flop for them last season. So Raheem Sterling's goals will really help Chelsea in the coming season. Raheem Sterling is good at dribbling with the ball, so he will help Chelsea in under pressure situations. When he receives the ball, he can carry the ball into the opposition third and create chances, which Chelsea lacked last season. They really didn't have any player who would carry the ball forward and release the pressure on the team. So Raheem Sterling really will help Chelsea in that department. Sterling also brings a lot of experience when it comes to winning trophies, especially the Premier League. Chelsea have a lot of youngsters who need an experienced player around them who can guide them and teach them how to keep a cool and calm head when they are under pressure and or when they are going through tough times during a season, because Premier League is not an easy league by any means and you go through ups and downs, so you need an experienced player who can guide you through those times. Raheem Sterling is also good friends with Mason Mount and Reece James because of their England connection, and he will fit in nicely with Chelsea because of those reasons. He won't have any problems, so I think he will hit the ground running at Chelsea. He will fit directly into their first team and will make them way better what they were a season before. With Timo Werner also looking to leave Chelsea, he will definitely play most of the games this season, so he will score around 15 goals this season and around 10 assists, which would be really good for Chelsea if he achieves those numbers. Although Raheem Sterling's addition to the squad makes Chelsea way better than last season, they still need a striker who will play at top and will become a point of focus for their attack. They still haven't signed any strikers, so let's see what they do in that area. And that's it for this video. So goodbye.